All right, everybody, welcome to the stream here. Gonna do something a little different this afternoon. What I've done here is I went ahead and signed up for another Apex account. So that's what we're gonna trade this afternoon. So you can see here, going to be transparent here with my, I'll show you everything here just so you know that, nothing's funny's going on. You can see this is still my Top Step account from this morning. Profit's still the same. Profit is still the same there. Oops. Kind of get these set up. Yeah, I guess I'll just close this out. We can just use the one chart here for today. So the idea is start this account today. Going to trade this afternoon to kind of protect my profits from the morning. Excuse me. And then we will obviously link these accounts together to tomorrow morning and just trade copy them. NQ trying to make a push up here. I'll get the P&L up there here in a second. I want to get everything switched over to this account so I don't make any mistakes and accidentally hit a button on one that I'm not meaning to take the trade on. There we are. And then let's take this one off of here to try to limit the possibility of a mistake. Get the ES set up here on one. And let's put the performance tab down here. Okay, gonna roll this up. All right. See, we had a pump up this afternoon pretty much, or this morning. Let's kind of continue. Kind of have a little pullback here to the, about the 50% range here on this move up. Let's see here, NQ. So anyways, just trying to protect our capital this afternoon. We don't want to give anything back like we did yesterday. Seems like it's a decent idea to just switch over here to this other account. Just planning on adding other accounts anyway and eventually having 4 or 5 and just trade copy. But wasn't necessarily planning on doing it yet, but that's what we're gonna do. kind of traded down into this range between the 20 and the VWAP. Might be fairly aggressive this afternoon with this new account. We shall see. All right, approaching 2 o'clock here at the top of the hour. Going to be looking for this ICT silver bullet setup between 2 and 3 here. That's kind of the strategy this afternoon. That's what we're going to be looking for. If you didn't watch the morning stream, we are up $1,351 on both total. About $400 on the top step and $950 on the other one there. So that's what we are currently up for the day. Looking to obviously add some into that. All right. Got everything set up. And let's see if we can, find an entry this afternoon. All right, let's see what happens. We're kind of approaching this SMA here. The 20 SMA. Kind of traded down to that pivot at the 438, 437 on the Nasdaq there. All right, let's take a look here, see what happens at this 20 SMA here. All right. 15-minute chart, we traded back into that bullish fair value gap on the ES here. Looking like a bullish move back up here, to be honest. See if we can't we do have a small fair value gap here on the 3-minute for the ES. Let's kind of working on a shift in market structure here back to the upside. Oh, maybe that's, oh, that is the 3-minute. Oh. That was actually on the 1-minute chart there. Let me hold on for 1 second. All right, I'm back. Let's see if we can't just kind of making sure I got everything set up here. So I just had my charts wrong. Set them up and I set them up wrong, but here we go. All right, now we're good. Yeah, on the NQ here, we kind of had a shift in market structure there to the upside. Not a big one. This is, well, actually, yeah. So, I mean, if it trades back into this fair value gap here at 36, you could potentially tick along there. Let me, I can split these charts up. I don't know why I don't do that. Let's do that. You do have relatively equal lows here on the ES. Let's see here. That's fine. But it did kind of trade back up into an order block here. So this could just be, I don't know, I guess you could make an argument for both sides, especially on the ES here. See how price reacts once it moves down to this level. Small gap here on the NQ there. Let's see, you do have a market structure shift on the NQ on the 1-minute chart, but there's not quite one there on the 3-minute, but Since we're being a little more aggressive this afternoon, we may take that entry if it trades back into that gap. Not really a whole lot of risk. I mean, you would get long from 36, and stop would be at the 28. So. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my order on the screen here. If we get, might trade right through it. We'll see. Let me target this 460 level there. Like I said, this could just be well, we'll see what we get out of this. All right, where are we going to get tagged in here? All right, tagged in there. Nice reaction to the gap there initially. Gonna move my stop to break even once we get $100 here. If we get to 100. All right. So our stop's at break even. I'm gonna trail this up a little bit. Locking in 4 handles there. Let's lock in 5. If we get stopped out, I'm okay with it, but I'd like for it to go. Might get stopped here. All right, getting a little more here. Lock in a little more. 10 handles now locked in. There we go. We're approaching that 20 SMA, so not 100% sure about it, but that's a quick $200 there on this new account. First trade. I'm okay with that. Didn't manage that the best, but also not 100% sure that this gap is ultimately going to be respected. I do like how it reacted to it on that first test of it, but might have left some on the table there, but we will find out. But I'm okay with it there at this point in time. So nice way to start the afternoon. Nice little $200 scalp. Yes, looking kind of bullish as well here. Just broke that. Traded back down there into the... yeah, the only thing I don't like, I wish it would take out these lows. Take out these lows first, then could probably get a little more of a push up there. Let me take a look here. Let's see what we got going on. Traded down to the 84 level there. See if we can hold 42.88 and kind of in this area, maybe push up to that 43.04. Possible move up to 43.17 by the end of the day. Might see 40s by tomorrow, end of the day. So possible move up to the 43.17 level on the ES today. So far that take profit there is looking okay. I mean, it is holding up, and ultimately it probably will go, but it's just going to have to go without me, and I'm okay with that at this point. ES bouncing here, trying to break out. Probably going to take the Nasdaq with it here. We broke through that 20 SMA now. Now that exit's not looking so hot. The exit is no longer looking hot. Could have got more there. That's okay though. You know, it's best to lock in profit sometimes, especially when you're you feel like you're struggling at a certain time frame or a certain day. It's okay to lock in profit at that point. I feel like anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way I feel. Sorry, the dog's barking. Not much I can do about it. He likes to bark. He likes to bark. All right, we're at that 42.90 level here on the ES. See if it can't kind of push through there. Maybe create a market structure shift to the upside. Looks like the there's a 15-minute fair value gap here on the ES. As you can see, I didn't notice it at first. I might have would have tried to take that entry, but just now kind of seeing it. Kind of right there. It traded into that, then bounced out of it. Was the second test of it though, so I don't like how it, well, it's okay. So yeah, that gap is there. The 8450 area. The 1 minute chart here, we got a nice little fair value gap formed on the ES. Market structure definitely trying to look bullish here now. Yeah, we definitely, this would have been a great, oh man, we were in it. Now we're kicking ourselves. Long from 36, traded up to the 40s, or the 65, 66. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. 30 handles there. We only got 10. That's all right. It's one of the things I'm trying to work on, and the fact that I said I was going to be more aggressive on this account, at least the first day or two, seems as though I lied, huh? But we still could form the ICT silver bullet setup here. This this gap was formed before 2 p.m. so this still should be the silver bullet setup here. May create this gap here if it forms and then trades back into it. Need the ES to kind of get through this order block that we see here. Trade through the order block, pull back, maybe ride it higher. All right, let's see what happens here. See if this candle closes, creating this gap here. And then we'll be looking for a entry as it trades back into that gap potentially. Yeah, looking for it to trade back into this gap. Possibly on the ES as well, but I'm probably going to take the trade on the NQ most likely. Just because I feel more comfortable with the NQ there. Kind of working on this gap here on the ES here. Kind of putting these gaps on here a little soon. This candle hasn't printed yet, but we already got one on the 2-minute chart on both. So let's see what happens here. Target on the ES will probably be this first swing high, 94. So if you enter at 90, let it break that first swing high, then you can move your stop to break even, and then you can kind of target high a day potentially. All right, the gaps have formed now, so we'll see what happens. See if price wants to trade back into those or not. All right, I'm going to wait and see how price reacts to this gap. I probably should just put my order on there, but we do have a liquidity void right there at the opening of that gap as well. This price is going to want to repaint that, so you could potentially get a little bit better of an entry if it trades into the gap. Possibly here. Trying to pay attention here to the 1 minute and the 2 minute as well. Just kind of see what's going on there. We are trading up into a bearish fair value gap too. Always got to be aware of that. But we do have a nice, it is a nice market structure shift here. You can see we do have that gap kind of right here. Really want it to kind of turn into an inversion gap. Let's trade through it and turn it into some support once we get through it. But first we need our entry. We need to trade back into this gap here that we got outlined. So let's see what happens here. See how price reacts to this gap here. Gonna wait for price to trade into the gap. Like I said, it's gonna probably repaint this volume imbalance, and let's see how it respects the gap. If it starts to bounce out of there, then we will we'll take our entry at that point. We are trading up into a bearish fair value gap on the 2-minute chart there. And that kind of is going to be, let's see, this is where you can make you can kind of make a argument for both sides here. You know, this is trading into a premium. So that might have just been an entry. You know, on the 2-minute chart, we traded right up into a gap. Traded up into a premium maybe to come down and sweep these lows. Hold on. All right, it's approaching the gap now. Let's see how price reacts to it. Got to be careful here. Like I said, I mean, you make an argument for both sides here. I mean, I think I'm thinking bullish more than bearish here for sure, but that doesn't mean I'm right. Yeah, kind of looking like a breakout on the 15-minute chart there. Both of them, the ES and the Nasdaq, kind of looking bullish there. Could have taken this entry. I mean, we did take this entry down here, but, you know, we didn't hold it. That's my problem, not holding the trades here. Really needs to trade on through this level here. It will be nice to, I mean, you know, it did kind of come back to this gap here. Didn't quite get to it. You know, we're a ticker or two away and didn't take this volume imbalance out. I mean, sometimes these imbalances are meant to stay open, but price typically likes to come back and visit those imbalances. It's not really an indication of what direction it's going to go, so it could trade through this imbalance altogether and come take out this low, which we don't have relatively equal lows on the NQ like we do on the ES. I mean, we have two perfectly equal lows here on the ES. I mean, obviously you could possibly take a, you know, you could take a short back into that box, but not really a very good idea at this point. ES looking like it wants to just break out here. Nasdaq kind of looking the same. I'm not really, you know, I'd rather trade the strategy instead of trading the momentum at this point. But kicking myself down for this entry down here. Oh, goodness. I got to get better at this, guys. I have got to work on not moving the stop so fast. I mean, there was very little reason to move the stop there. Could have just moved it to break even. Never even would have got tagged. Could still be just holding this from... Could be holding this from down here in the 36 area. 35, whatever it was. 36 and a quarter. That's all right. All right, now it looks like ES definitely going to take these highs first. Could have taken the long setup there on the 2-minute chart. We did trade back into the fair value gap there. But got to work through that bearish fair value gap there. It could get some sort of reaction there. And we're up in that premium zone for the short. So that's why you have to be careful in here since we are in that premium. It's taking out these equal highs here, just approaching it. Just have to be aware if we try to take any longs here, it's going to have to be quick exits because price could certainly trade back down into these fair value gaps. So just have to be aware of that. All right, purge these equal highs there. Let's see if that brings it back down. Looks like ES is approaching a pivot at the 42.96 level, so something to be aware of there. Possible move through the high of day here on the NQ. All right, pushing up there into that 95.96 level on the ES. Price is now above the fair value gap on the NQ here. That bearish one. Possible pullback now. Let's see what we get. ES trying to approach the high of day here at 98.50. Got that pivot point there at 96 to be aware of. Well, certainly wish I was still long in this here. This is where I wish I had two contracts on. Should have thought about that, this being a newer account. Could have done two contracts, took one off at 10 and just put the other one on break even and let it run. I think that's probably going to be my new strategy going forward, or maybe trading the micros. What would it be? 20 micros or something maybe. See how this price reacts here. I hate trying to get in long all the way up here because could just put in a higher low and move lower. Or lower high, I'm sorry. Although realistically, it's already broke the trend here. I mean, like I said, this is just kind of makes things dummy proof. Anybody can do it. Yeah, it should be quite a bit of support at 88, I think, on the ES. Kind of annoyed I see these breakouts happening and then I don't participate. Kind of makes it, frustrating. Could certainly have taken some scalps on this move up at the very least, but price action is moving pretty dreadfully slow here. Let's try to be a little more patient, take the actual setups. I mean, this almost traded into this gap, so close. It did trade into the 2-minute gap, and I could have taken that, but dollar just kind of chopping around here, not really doing anything. All right, trying to kind of just chopping around here at this level. Yeah, it hasn't really been. I guess if you marked out your level here, you could have had a short opportunity there earlier. She could have got short for the retest of the 20 SMA here. Got a nice little move down. Would have been a bit aggressive, but yeah, possibly straight up move tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Continue this 7-week trend that we've been having. Pullback Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, bull Thursday and Friday. All right, the Nasdaq trying to break out here, kind of trading through this gap. Kind of found some support here at this gap, so kind of doing what I was thinking it would do and turned this into a support area. The only problem is I was hoping that it would repaint this volume imbalance here and trade into this gap first before it went up through this area. So it hasn't done that. So it may not. This might be a volume imbalance that needs to be left open and maybe get repriced to later. Certainly feels like it's trying to take out this swing high at 93 at the very least here. I mean, I really want to jump in here, to be honest. Thinking about jumping in here. Yeah, we're only on one account today, Jason. I started a new Apex account to kind of protect my capital from this morning, protect my profits. So we're locking in those profits, and we're on a new Apex 50K account here. Oh, goodness, I want to jump in here. All right, we may participate here. Just kind of targeting this swing high area here. I'm going to try to give this the room it needs to kind of go here. We've been just kind of in a slow grind up here. So I think that might just continue. Just kind of watching it here to see what happens there. Yeah, just trying to give this trade a little bit of room here to breathe. I think it's going to go, but, you know, who knows for sure, right? Yeah, I'm targeting the 499 level here. Pulling back here a little bit. Well, trying to be patient with this trade and give it kind of the room it needs, but I'm not liking that pullback there. Moving my stop below that gap, that bearish gap there. Seeing if that can support. Watching this 80 level here. Should get a little support here at the 80. If we don't, I'm just going to go ahead and kill it. Needed to go here if it's going to go. All right, broke 80, so I'm just going to kill it there. Gave back most of our profits there on this account, on that trade. Just let's just reevaluate this entry here and just kind of, you know, hold ourselves accountable for what we did wrong. If we're going to take this long, you know, it was kind of holding this gap, and I'm thinking it's support. Then as soon as it broke, you know, the 80 level, 81, that's when we should be entering long. Riding it up to the 90. Stop would be at break even already, possibly even trailing it up. Instead, we got in too late. So, made a mistake there. Recognizing it, cutting it off to, you know, before it hit our stop at least, we minimized the risk there. Now it is bouncing off that gap. Do we allow it to burn us twice? No, we don't. Just kind of looking at the ES here. I think I'm going to take a short here on the ES because it's pretty low risk here. In fact, I may just add a second contract. Yeah, I'm going to add a second contract here on the ES. This is pretty low risk short here, risking $200 basically for a potential, you know, $750 trade here. So we're going to lock one in at 5 handles. And then we'll let the second one kind of run for this swing low here. This will be my first ES trade of the day here, so let's see how this works out. Kind of got a shift in structure on the 1 minute chart there, so that's what I'm working off of here. Like I said, very low risk trade here. That's the reason I'm taking this here. Bit of an aggressive trade, but See if we can't get this moved down. Kind of watching everything. I mean, it looks okay, possibly to have moved down. We do have to break. You know, obviously this 93 level is going to be important to break. Because we got this gap here, so see if it's being respected or not. Trying to give this room, but I'm not trusting it anymore at this point, to be honest with you. So move that one contract to break even there. Got stopped out. I'm okay with it. All right, stopped out there on the full position. I just, after reevaluating this, it was kind of probably a little quick to the party there. Probably a little quick to the party. So let's just give it a little bit of space. Of course, now that I got out of it, let's watch what happens. Bouncing up here. That's what I was thinking. I was like, man, why would I? You know, I shorted there after being long on the NQ, and it kind of bounced right off this inversion gap again. Kind of a boneheaded entry there. I'm thinking need to get a little more information. Probably would have made more sense to take long on the NQ again from where I stopped out at there. Should have just kind of moved the stop down. Probably should have just left it where I had it there, huh? I guess I probably would have got stopped anyway, because this wick probably would have got me. And I tell you what, oh man, I may have missed this. This went up, traded back in here. I didn't see that. So stop really needs to be down here in the 60s for it to hold this gap. Let's see if it trades back into that area again. Much rather be long from this low area here than where I was earlier. So, all right, let's go ahead and take a long here. Let's put our stop kind of where it needs to be. If we get stopped out here, then that's okay. But kind of targeting that 500 level there. All right, probably moving this a little quickly, but I'm gonna lock it in. Can't lose on it. See if it goes here. Gonna trail it up, but not super close this time. Locking in 60. Logging in 100. Need it to go here. Want to see it go. $140. Go. All right, guys, I need you guys to blow on the bottom of the screen. Blow up on the screen there for me. Let's get this up there. Let's get this up there to that 500 level without coming back. Come on. Like to see it break through that 90 level strong here. Got to blow harder, guys. You're not doing a good job here. And I'm going to put it here at 150 and leave it. I think that's 150. I don't know. My crooked math, who knows? 145, so I guess my math's not quite right, but I'll take it. Short scalp there. Didn't quite go as quickly as we wanted it to. Kind of just trading in that little range there, and that's kind of what we're playing off of. Wasn't able to break out of that range. Thought we might break out of that range and break through the 500 level, but it didn't happen. Yeah, no, I probably moved my stop. I definitely moved my stop too quick, but that's okay. That's all right. Well, that puts us up $180 so far this afternoon. We were up 197. Gave a little back. ES is trying to make new highs here. Nasdaq's kind of lagging behind it there. Kind of a double top there on the NQ. I mean, I don't see how it doesn't break through here. We got, you know, these equal highs, these relatively equal highs before we approach this 500 level, which has that bearish fair value gap. I'd like for it to go back and hunt these lows again real quick. Missed the silver bullet today. Well, really didn't miss it. Mismanaged the silver bullet, we should say. As we got the silver bullet set up right here. Traded back into it. We took it. We just mismanaged it. That's something I'm trying to work on. Created another fair value gap. Almost traded back into the gap. One tick from it. Could have still taken that entry. Even if we took this worst entry at 61, you can see this is traded all the way up to 89. So almost a 30 handle move off that setup there. And then 3-minute chart on the ES hasn't really offered an entry for the silver bullet this afternoon on the 3-minute chart. I think I found the entry on the 1-minute chart here. Let's see. Yeah. So on the 1-minute chart, I mean, really kind of muddy, kind of tough to see there. Kind of muddy there. Trying to break out here on the NQ, moving back above this 490 level. I don't want to punish myself here by buying up here again. I do like how this fair value gap here and this inverted gap kind of held this area. Got to start trusting my my reads when I see them. It's one of my big problems. I don't trust my reads. We had a huge pullback yesterday afternoon. I guess in the last 30 minutes of the day there. Huge pullback. And I did not participate in that. I missed it. I was kind of steamed by the time that came around. Yep. There is a bearish fair value gap up here. What? Well, typically it's going to respect the 15-minute gap a little more than it would, say, you know, a 3-minute gap or a 2-minute gap, but it's not always the case. Typically what you'd like to see is maybe some sort of reaction to the gap. So, for example, if it traded up into this gap, maybe get a displacement back to the downside, and then you could look to enter short off of that. But I don't typically take a trade right off of the 15-minute gap. We try to get a reaction to that zone and then go from there. Certainly think we may get this move up in this 4,300 area this afternoon, possible. Possibly 43.17 if we can get above 43.04. So we just get a blast through here and get up to that 43.04, then I think we continue a push up this afternoon. But if we reject this area and we don't sweep this high, then I think it may trigger a sell. So let's watch and see. Kind of hanging out at this pivot right there at 96, kind of turning that pivot into support. You see those last three candles are just wicks. Lots of indecision here. This 95 to 98 zone right here on the ES is kind of like a no trade zone. Really, it's the same type of thing that we got going on here on the Nasdaq. If we don't, you know, need to break out of this box here. Kind of need to break out of this box before kind of taking another trade here. So you can just kind of mark these out. I like to do this sometimes. Just say, okay, no trade zone, right? Got to move out of this zone before we enter. Excuse me. Yeah, scratchy throat today. Should probably take some medicine, huh? Just kind of chopping around here in this in these boxes. Kind of brutal here. Just not much going on. Just kind of watching price hang out in this zone. All right, trying to move out of that zone there. All right, we're kind of breaking out there on the NQ first. No, I don't have one funded yet, Jason. We are still. We need $800 on Top Step, and I think 1750 on Apex. So we have a breakout here on the NQ. Almost pressed the buy button there at 91, but don't like buying so close to 500 either. Yeah, we got the bearish fair value gap there, so all right, ES breaking out there. Searching these highs out here. Might get a rejection here on the ES, possibly and kind of turn back down here for the power hour. Let's see what happens. Trading into the fair value gap there on the NQ. All right, trying to see what kind of reaction we get here to this high a day here being taken out on the ES. Might get a displacement back to the downside. Could continue higher. We'll see. Nasdaq still kind of lagging. Nice rejection there off the sweep of that high. Nice little rejection there. Let's see how this how this ends up looking here. Kind of possible push down below here, create a gap to the downside for maybe a move lower, potentially. See if we find some support here at that 96 level, or if we just push through there. Already kind of got a displacement on the ES on the 1 minute chart. Really like to see it break that 94, 93 level for a market structure shift there to the downside. This could just be a quick retracement, small pullback before it heads higher though. Got burned on a setup similar to that earlier, so I'm going to be very careful here. Not really a market structure shift yet. Let's trade back into that zone there on the ES, that kind of no trade zone here. I'd like to see it shift out of there before it comes back up in there into a gap potentially. So we'll see what happens. See if price offers us that. Possibly get us an entry there. Potentially. Like to get one more trade today would be nice. Yeah, it's a dreadful price action this afternoon. Very, very slow. All right, trying. It's trying to break down here, but not quite there yet. I took a very similar entry on this yesterday afternoon. We swept the high, or actually we swept the low, and I took the bounce out of there. So maybe we get a market structure shift to the downside here, and then possibly come take out these relatively equal lows. All right, looks like we are getting that shift down to the downside here. So let's take a look at it. Possible entry here. Use the pivot probably as the entry. Somewhere in there in that 96.25 area. Kind of just using the 1 minute chart here for this. Kind of what I'm thinking here. What is the risk on this trade? Let's see. Stop. 97. I'm going to try 2 contracts here. Might not be quite enough here for this short, but let's see what we can do. Potentially get in here, maybe target this. I'm going to leave one at 5 handles, and we'll let the other one kind of run if we can get it. I guess I should probably, yeah, because there is another gap there. Oh, wait, what's going on here? Oh, I'm moving the wrong ones. Not sure. I'll have to look that up for you. Hold on. Oh, come on. Are we not getting tagged in here? It's literally touched it there. Trying to get tagged in short here. There we go. Now we're tagged in. So this is only risking $100 here on this trade. Might get tagged out here pretty quickly. Actually, you know what? I'm going to move this up a little bit. So risking a 175. See if we can't get this move down here. All right, not liking that. Kind of traded back into this. I don't know. Really, you can make an argument for both sides here, and when I see trades like that, it's what makes me kind of not want to take them. But it'd be a little more aggressive here. One tick away from the stop there. All right, I'm just gonna manually take that one off. I don't like how it's looking there. I don't like that at all. That's why the 1 minute chart is a little difficult to use for entries and it's good to get for entries and exits, but if you're just only using the 1 minute chart for the break of structure, really no break of structure to speak of there on the 3 minute. Let's check the 2 minute. 2 minute, really don't have one either, so that's okay. Not great on execution this afternoon. Still positive $49, but we've definitely left some some money on the table today. I mean, if you look at this entry here, this was beautiful. Best entry of the day here. Long from 36.25. It's pushed all the way up to the 500. So those are the type of ones. The first trade of the day is usually the best one. Those are the kind of ones I need to all right, kind of trading back into this range here. Could possibly, I mean, could possibly take a long here on the NQ for this kind of a range bound trade. Thinking about that there. Can't think too long though if we're going to do it. Can't think too long there. All right, let's take a little scalp here. Just going to take a little ranged play scalp. Thinking this box, or that we may hold this area here. So I guess if it breaks 85, I'll just kill it. I was kind of eyeballing at 85 level there. Like to see that hold. That's where the 20 SMA is. Look to get a bounce off that 20 SMA there. Gonna kind of get bounce out of there, so I want to see this push on up a little more quickly here. Want to see this push here pretty quickly. There we go, in the green now on it. Let's see if we can let it go here. It's all right, stopped out there for a little bit. For a little bit of profit. That might have been kind of a dumb trade there, but let's try to limit those. It's kind of a play off the 20 SMA there. If I'd have been paying attention, I would have took the original entry off the 20 SMA there instead of adding the contract at the 20 SMA. So, yeah, $65 on one, lost 15 on the other. So, net $50 there. All right, kind of moving down lower here again. Trading back into this kind of no trade range that we marked out earlier, which we just took a trade in. All right, kind of we just passed over that 3:30 hour, so I think that's probably going to be it for me today. I'm not great at trading that last 30 minutes. Typically, if I'm not already in a trade in the last 30 minutes, I don't like to trade it. So let's just go ahead and wrap it up. Lock in our $93 that we made this afternoon. We're going to add that to our $1,351 from the morning, and that puts us at $1,444. for the day. So not a bad day across 3 accounts. Tomorrow we will put the trade copier on for this account, and we will copy this with the other Apex account and lock in the profits at the same time there, or lock in the losses. I do stream every day at 9:20 a.m. from 9:20 to about 11:30. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit the bell so that you know when I go live, and we will see you tomorrow.